Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode of Doctor Who. Today, obviously, we're going to be discussing once again about Ruth's Doctor. So, in my last discussion, I explained why Ruth can't be the first Doctor, at least. And quite frankly, in a way, I was also hinting maybe that she isn't the Doctor necessarily from this universe. But Chris Chibnall has come out recently and made a claim that she is definitively the Doctor. Now, I'm a bit scared of that statement in a way, because that could mean a few things. When you say definitively, you're more or less implying that she's 100% the Doctor, of course. But are you also implying, whether or not she's the original? I honestly do not know. Because, obviously, when I say definitively the Doctor, I always think of William Hartnell or Tom Baker. I don't really think about any of the newer Doctors, if that makes sense, in terms of Peter Capaldi. Whilst they were the Doctor, they're not definitively the Doctor. Now, the only Doctor, obviously, that really used the word definitively was actually Tom Baker himself, And Chris Chibnall did watch Doctor Who during the 70s, early 80s, of course, which obviously may be where this Doctor could have originated from. But today, what I'm going to discuss isn't about whether or not Ruth is the Doctor. We're just going to say, for now, she is the Doctor. Today, I'm going to discuss where she could fit in to the Doctor's timeline. And we're going to sort of explore all avenues. So, obviously, the Doctor, certainly since the return of the show, I certainly don't see any path for her to fit in from, obviously Christopher Eccleston's Doctor to, obviously, the current Doctor now of Jodie Whittaker. So she has to be before the 9th Doctor at least. Or, well, actually the 10th Doctor, technically. So she has to be before the 10th Doctor at least of Christopher Eccleston, in my opinion. And therefore, considering that, she also has to be, in my opinion, also slightly before the War Doctor as well. Surely she's got to be before War Doctor. But then, after the War Doctor, that's where things get a bit blurry with the Doctor's timeline. I don't think she's between Colin Baker or, I don't think she's, after either Tom Baker, Colin Baker, or any of those, I think the place where she's going to fit in is between Patrick Troughton and the 3rd Doctor. I don't think she's before Patrick Troughton, because that would mean then she's before William Hartnell, and I don't think that will be the case. I think if she's going to be fitting in anywhere, she will fit in either slightly before Tom Baker, or, between Patrick Troughton and the 3rd Doctor. And I think the most likely avenue where she will fit in is probably in between Patrick Troughton and the 3rd Doctor. And now let me explain why. Now, we've seen all the regenerations, haven't we? Well, yes, but not quite. The thing is, with Patrick Troughton, we saw, obviously, it went sort of to a black screen sort of thing, where, I think it was his face in the middle with, 4 faces. Now, obviously, what that, was implying was a regeneration was taking place. However, we didn't see, Patrick Troughton's face ever change. It sort of just faded out. And we didn't see who he changed into. This left a gap of about a year, because Doctor Who was off air for a year between the 2nd Doctor and the 3rd Doctor. So this left a little bit of a gap. Now, in that gap, did actually Patrick Troughton change immediately into the Third Doctor, or was he taken out of his, basically time zone and put into this Third Doctor, which is obviously Ruth? Now, I know that sounds a bit confusing. It would mean then that makes Tom Baker the Fifth Doctor, but I wouldn't really mind that Tom Baker being the Fifth Doctor myself. I think so long you don't really make William Hartnell the Second Doctor, that's when I would only have a problem if William Hartnell became the Second Doctor, because the way I see it, William Hartnell is the first, the only Doctor that you can definitively call the original Doctor. And he said he was the original, or he did imply that at times. Some would say you can call me the original, I'm pretty sure. And he said in Once Upon a Time, you may be a Doctor to the Doctor, but I am the Doctor. So that implies, he's the original incarnation of the Doctor. And obviously we saw him still the TARDIS, the Type 44 TARDIS, and when it wasn't broken. And obviously, in Unearthly Child, obviously we heard William Hartnell say, why hasn't the TARDIS changed? He was very confused why, the TARDIS hasn't changed to sort of blend in with the environment, which obviously was confusing for William Hartnell at the time, because obviously the TARDIS is designed to blend in with its surroundings and its environment. So obviously, that's why I think, she can't be before William Hartnell. However, there is a slot between Patrick Troughton and the Third Doctor. Now, if we do go along that lines, the thing is, with Tom Baker, in one of the episodes, Tom Baker saw some unrecognised faces, which could have been the Doctor. And, the thing is, that could imply that, yes, but I don't think it necessarily does. It may imply there's been a bit of a forgotten memory, more so, but it doesn't necessarily imply there's been a face he's forgotten, maybe. I wouldn't go down the lines of that premises necessarily, but I do think, that it could mean that he's forgotten something, but what was that something, we never found out. And why then the faces appeared, we never found out. But this could be going down the lines of that. Now we're going to get the answer to why Tom Baker saw them mysterious faces. The thing is, though, that's playing with a lot of Doctor Who history even then. And in my opinion, you get it wrong. You get it wrong big time. You get it right, it could be a massive hit, from the fan base. But yeah, in my opinion, if there's a slot where you could slot Ruth's Doctor in, it's between the Second Doctor and the Third Doctor. Looking at it, there was that year gap in Doctor Who. We never saw Patrick Troughton's face actually fully change into the new Doctor. So therefore, it does leave that slot widely open. And if you want to do that, fine, but get it right. That's all I urge Chris Chibnall to do. Because even when you're playing with Doctor Who, okay, you've got to be very careful what you're playing with. You're playing with a lot of, history to the show. Many people see Tom Baker as, the most famous Doctor of all Doctors to some degree of classic Who. Yes, William Hartnell, he's the one, the only, he's the original Doctor, but Tom Baker, the way he played the character, and how many years he spent in the role of the Doctor was, quite surreal, quite frankly. Because most Doctors now these days only spend roughly 3 years and then they move on. We saw that with David Tennant, Matt Smith, and now Peter Capaldi, and most likely, I'm going to presume we're going to see it with Jodie Whittaker. She'll only probably play 3 years as the Doctor, or 3 seasons, and then she's probably going to move on to the next role. I think, 3 years is, as I think Stephen Moffat put it, is the sweet spot, because you've achieved it, once you've done it, 3 years, you've achieved it, you've conquered it, now time to go on and do something else. And that's fair enough. I fully understand what he means by that. I understand completely. But as I say, with Ruth's Doctor, I think, if Ruth's Doctor is going to fit in anywhere, it will be in between Patrick Troughton and the Third Doctor. Now, there has been talks about Ruth's Doctor being the Valeyard, which has been conceived to be an evil version of the Doctor. This could be the case, however, I don't think it is the case, because if she was the Valeyard, which did exist around the Matt Smith era, actually, again, I just don't think this is the case that, Ruth's Doctor's the Valeyard. It wouldn't really make sense, because the Valeyard wasn't really a Time Lord who would really work with the Gallifreyans all too much. He was just more the evil Time Lord, really, the Valeyard. Yeah. But also, going back to the Patrick Troughton / now Ruth regeneration, if we look back on it, okay, back in them days, the Doctor did have more closer ties with Gallifreyans, and therefore would he or she done work for the Gallifreyans. The only thing, though, I feel like this does also, it undermines the first female Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, because she will now know she wasn't the first female Doctor to play the role. She may be the first female Doctor to play the role of the Doctor, but she wasn't the first female Doctor in Doctor Who history, what this now would imply as well. So in a way, it takes away from, Jodie Whittaker a little bit, if this was the case, and is the case. Could she be a future Doctor, and could it be the other way round? Maybe Ruth has forgotten her past? I don't think that would be the case. But yeah, I think if, Ruth's Doctor gonna fit in anywhere, it will be in between Patrick Troughton and the Third Doctor. I don't see anywhere else Ruth's Doctor could fit in. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't, please make sure you do leave a like. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. And until the next time, folks, have a great day.